Hello channel viewers, I am DS, your psychologist, and welcome to another episode on Channel NITT. In this episode, I am going to do something for the ENTJ INTJ community. I'm going to promote the ENTJ and the INTJ. As an NTJ type, after observing the INTJ for a very long time and observing myself as an ENTJ, I come to the conclusion that all the NTJ types can make very good employees. So the INTJ and the ENTJ are likely to be very dedicated, motivated employees. They will be efficient and they are likely to be responsible and effective. Give them a lot of different types of work, they will like it. Especially for the ENTJ, give them something manual, they will do. Give them something intellectual, they will do. And they will meet your expectations. I believe that this is the same with the INTJ. So some time ago, I was talking to a friend and associate who happens to own a tuition center. So she told me that she had a very bad experience with an INTJ, and luckily this INTJ has left the service. I was wondering, would that have been an INTJ? I really doubt so. So I asked her, how do you know that this person is an INTJ? She said she let all the incoming employees do the MBTI test. That is the problem. Why? Because when people are doing the MBTI test, and they are likely to be an employee with you, they want to portray an image that they are going to be very responsible, reliable, you can trust them, right? So they are going to check a lot of the boxes that will hint that they are the J type. Because the MBTI paper and pencil test doesn't measure cognitive functions, but rather separate things into dichotomous types like either introvert or extrovert, intuitive or sensing, thinking or feeling, judging or perceiving. So it is very likely that all the incoming employees, they want to say something good about themselves. So it is very likely that all the incoming employees, when they do the MBTI test, if you ask them to, are likely to become J types. This is very simple logic. When you just got to know someone and when you're dating, you want to show your best side, your amorous side, your caring side, your loving side. So in that regard, you have to be very careful when you are using the MBTI paper and pencil test in typing anyone at all, especially potential candidates and potential employees. As a general rule, if I am an employer, I would hesitate employing any P-types. But I personally think that P-types might be very good salespeople. I think those with the SI as their cognitive functions are very good as administrators. NTJ types, especially the ENTJ, can be very good all-rounders. So if you do not use the MBTI test to profile a person, how would you know for sure that the person in front of you is an NTJ type? So whether it is an ENTJ or an INTJ. So in this episode, I'm going to share with you a tactic that you can use to profile a person that could potentially be an NTJ type. But first note, the INTJ and the ENTJ together only form 3% of the population. This means that for every 33 people that you interview, only one of them could be this gem. So before we start, the person that my friend said had left the service, she thought it was an INTJ. But I would think that the person could potentially be an INTP. But it could also be any other P types. Actually, it could also be a J type. If a person is likely to give you hell or attitude at work, I think this person is not likely to be an INTJ. Anyway, if you want to know if a person could potentially be an INTJ or ENTJ, because these are very potentially good employees, you should interview them. INTJs and ENTJs, they use TE and NI, either as the dominant or auxiliary function. So, how do you know if someone has TE or NI? You ask them hypothetical questions. So regardless of whether this person is an INTJ or an ENTJ, just ask them a hypothetical questions like, oh, if you were doing this, how would you respond? If there was a fire, what would you do? Something like that. So there was an episode that we made on a hypothetical moral dilemma. So you can also refer to that question. But in general, when you are asking a hypothetical question, the ENTJ and the INTJ are likely to think of all the different possibilities and entertain them and also give you multiple perspectives. So since we are talking about the tuition center, you can come up with this hypothetical situation whereby in a class there were two boys and they started fighting over a very trivial matter. What would you do? So as an INTJ or ENTJ, they may analyze the situation and then they come up with a solution for you. They probably would not give you a fixed answer. They might consider different possibilities. So first, the INTJ or the ENTJ may say that they want to ask what happened. They want to make sure that they got the facts right, and then they would do A, B, C. They will consider the perspective of the parents, of the center, and of the students themselves. Very interestingly, the INTJ and ENTJ will not consider the feelings of the individuals unless it is consequential in the answer. Like for example, to protect the person's face or to take care of the other person's ego. Usually we don't care about the feelings because we want to get the facts right. TE is not such a function. So especially for the ENTJ, if you ask them a very imaginative, hypothetical question, they are really going to be very excited about it, and they can give you perspectives and different answers. Like, I think that there is no fixed answer. First, secondly, or for sure wow, that could potentially be an ENTJ or an INTJ. Very fluid, very smooth in their explanation. If you have met an NE user, which makes them one of these types, then you might get an answer that seems to be very off tangent. Which means to say, are they even answering the question? Like, what? You ask them, what would you do? They start talking about something else. And the solution that they gave is not holistic and complete. This is one problem with the NE user. So immediately you can tell that this person is likely to be a something N, something P type, not an INTJ or an ENTJ. So I hope that this episode can help you to have an idea how to sort the NTJ types, because the NTJ types are really very rare gems. Unfortunately, if the NTJ type, especially the ENTJ, has lost any faith in you or trust in this company, they are going to create hell anyway. They will leave. Generally, they will just leave this position. They will not turn back. So ENTJs and INTJs, feel free to comment in the comment section below. What do you feel about this episode? Okay, at Channel NITT, we produce a lot of MBTI related episodes, especially ENTJ ones, but we also occasionally produce other MBTI type episodes. Like today's one, we talk about the INTJ as well. So if you have not subscribed, do consider subscribing so that we can bring you more INTJ, ENTJ, and other MBTI types and fun stuff. Okay, I'm going to sign off now, and I'll see you in our next episode. Bye bye.